The Michael Hart Show, weekday afternoons at 3 on KLZ 560, The Source.
Welcome back to the Experience Pros Radio Show with Angel and Eric. We appreciate you. You know, hiring is one of those things that it should not be approached lightly. You've got to make sure you get the right person, the right job.
Oh, absolutely. And I don't think that we realize how important it is to hire the right person. We have with us Steve Waterhouse from the Predictive Index. He has tools that help managers choose the right team members. But do you know that hiring the right person can dramatically improve your sales and increase your profits, not just because they're out there selling more, but because they're the right person for the right job. Steve, welcome to the Experience Pros Radio Show.
Well, thank you to both of you.
Well, we're very happy to have you on, Steve. What is this Predictive Index? Is it true? Do you have a crystal ball?
Well, I actually have Angel's results right here, so you tell me.
Say what?
This is actually a proven tool that's over 50 years old that is proven to be able to show how people are going to perform in the workplace.
Oh, and I did. I actually sent me a survey last night that I had.
Learn something about Angel.
I filled out, and so I wasn't really sure, Steve, when I took it, what we were going to do with it. So I'm really curious where we're going to go with this. So go ahead and explain the process to our listeners.
Sure. Basically, I sent you a 10-minute survey that you took online, and I got a result back a few seconds later.
I know. I was a little embarrassed, Steve, that I did not spend as much time as I thought. Does that tell you something, too?
Absolutely. We can tell that you're a multitasker and you've got a lot of things on your plate by looking at this. But the nice thing is, if you were an employer, you would have this insight about this person very quickly. So I looked at this last night, and I looked at your results or this morning when they came in, and I said, wow, one of the first things I can tell about Angel is this is a person who tends to put other people ahead of herself.
Wait, we already knew that.
And so I looked on your website, and what does it say? In your bio, she pampered PGA golfers and their families.
So true.
Someone doesn't do that unless they put other people first. So I could have told before I ever interviewed you that you were right for that job.
Wow. Well, that's good to know.
Absolutely.
At least I'm doing the right job, Steve, for my skill set.
You better come up with some dirt, mister.
Well, I can also tell you she's a bit of a worrier. So this switch from paper to technology is a more difficult switch for her than it is for some people. She's going to worry more about getting it right in the details, and technology and solving technical problems is not her best suit. And solving people problems is much stronger for her than solving the technical side of things. So that I can understand the little bit of stress there. And when you just dumped about 8 apps on her in the last segment, pick the Evernote. It's a great one, but leave the rest alone until you master one.
I love it. Great advice.
Thank you, Steve.
We can see that you're the kind of person that also is a little subjective in the way you make decisions. You trust your gut, and that matters to you. You read people and you read into things. And so when we're looking at a person like you, we would say, is this an analytical person that's going to be a good accountant? No. Is this a person that could be a good consultant and help people and put them on the right path by understanding their needs? Absolutely.
Yeah,
perfect match for you.
A little subjective?
Well, I'm trying to be polite here.
Oh, okay, all right, sorry.
So what we do with companies is we actually help them come up with the ideal profile for each position they have. So they're not just looking at them randomly or in the abstract as I am with Angels. They're actually comparing it to an ideal for that position so that when they get that person in the job, they have a better idea how that person is going to function and that person is going to treat their customers the way they want them treated, or they're going to sell the way they want to sell. Whatever the the important things are for that job, we can come up with the behavioral side of that and give you a pretty good idea how that person's going to experience and live in your organization.
I think this is brilliant.
This is so brilliant.
What a great resource for anybody who is looking to make sure that all the people play in the sandbox nicely.
Oh, that's exactly. Every organization has a different way they want to appear to the public. And the way you appear is based on the people you choose. And so you have to choose people that are going to treat your customer the way you want. And if they don't do that, then your company isn't functioning or isn't marketing or isn't appearing the way it's supposed to the public. So we really help with that piece. It goes way beyond the resume to actually look at how that person's going to function on a day-to-day basis.
Well, you've been pretty spot on with my analysis, and I know I did go through that pretty quickly last night, and I'm super impressed. And I know we deal with a lot of companies who have high turnover in their employees. They really struggle with finding the right person and getting that right employee. This predictive index, that helps solve that, Steve?
Absolutely. For instance, you're an optimist. And optimists make some of the worst hiring mistakes because they believe that everyone can rise to the occasion and make something happen. This gives these employers an objective baseline to kind of quell that natural optimism, which entrepreneurs tend to have, and make better informed decisions. We actually have an article, if they want to download it, called How to Attract and Hire the Best People that they can get at predictiveresults.com, and it'll give them kind of an overview of what we do.
You know it, and I did just go through a hiring process with a group I'm involved with, and I put a team together because I know that about me.
Right.
I'm always going to look for the good. I think they're all going to be great, and I'm a terrible judge. If I'm put on a panel and I have to judge and I have to grade everybody, I'm awful at that.
Well, you're also a low-risk taker. You're someone who is more careful in taking risk. And so when you have to make that decision to say yes or no, that's a risk. And so you're a person that puts other people first, doesn't want to take risk, and worries about getting it wrong. All of that fits into exactly what you just talked about. So we would be able to see what you just articulated right off your PI results.
Well, do those PI results reflect the fact that she's the world's best business partner?
Yeah, because she's always going to care about you. It doesn't have to be her way. She doesn't have to be the star. She just has to have a role. And as long as she can play an important role and be helping the listeners and helping her clients, she's a great business partner. That's what we look for. We look for people that are other-focused rather than self-focused for those kinds of roles.
Everybody needs to know Steve Waterhouse.
Absolutely. So let's talk about this download and where they can get more information and bring the predictive index to their company.
Sure. If they go to predictiveresults.com, they can download the How to Attract and Hire the Best People.
Well, and I'll tell you, it was pretty painless to take the tool, to take the survey. I was nervous about having my bio aired
over a national feed
because there was no preview into it.
Turns out you're a pretty good girl.
I always, and he says, I always worry, am I the right person for this job? And so that's, I guess, in my tendency.
Steve, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. Well, for America, and for me, it reaffirms what we already know about you. You're really the right person in the right seat doing the right thing.
That's always good to know.
Absolutely.
That is always very affirming. Thrilled to have taken the predictive index, and I think that the way that Steve put this together, created that experience here online, that shows you what a great company they are to work with.
Absolutely. Thank you for listening to the Experience Pros Radio Show, where it is our stated goal and accomplished mission every day to give you nothing but the best in business. Now,